It's been a long journey, literally and figuratively, for S.A. Smith. Sam Smith from Cornwall. Enough of a journey in itself, but unbeaten so far in 4 fights, and surely waiting for this kind of opportunity. Well, opportunity knocks and presents itself tonight for Smith. And the big question is he good enough and ready enough to capitalise on that? We look forward to finding out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the ring, George Liddard.
The sacrifices I make, I know that someday, they're going to benefit me, benefit my family, and benefit those around me. So, I've got to keep sacrificing, keep working hard, and get to the top. I think I've got a very mixed style. I can do a bit of everything. I can fight on the front foot, I can fight on the back foot. It doesn't matter where, I can do what I need to do to get the win. I couldn't work any harder or do any more than what I'm doing, so how can I not trust in myself and believe that no one's going to be able to beat me? When it comes on fight night and I'm standing in front of them, I know I've done more than they've done. That's where my confidence comes from. Listen, at the end of the day, when I get in there, it doesn't matter who's in front of me, I'm there to win, I'm there to put on a display. So, coming 29th of June, put on a statement.
George Liddard.
Terrific atmosphere building here in Brentwood. It's a very, very different kind of experience tonight for the unbeaten prospect George Liddard, who has been on the undercard, further down on the undercard of some of those big matchroom bills under the lights, behind the likes of Anthony Joshua. He's been to Vegas, but tonight at a much more frenzied, busy, small hall show, he can literally see the eyeballs of fans tonight, and that is going to be a unique experience for this young prospect, who's got a fantastic fan-friendly style. He's exciting, athletic, energetic. You're going to love him. Tail off the tape. S.A. Smith unbeaten in 4. From Bodmin Moor, a farmer at the age of 30, who faces a hard life off the country, and now it's the tough road inside the boxing ring. He's 8 years older, though has a few inches advantage in height, though interestingly it's the Billericay bomber Liddard who has slight advantage in reach and freshness at the age of 22. He's unbeaten in 7 with 4 stoppages so far. Looking forward to seeing him again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. This bout is brought to you by Johnny Clark of Top Tier Boxing and their proud sponsors, by Insulation, Synergy Directs, and Think Green Partners. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, your timekeeper at the bell, Stephen Pucci, and the third man in the ring in charge of the action, A-star referee, Mark Bates. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the black and white with gold trim. His official weight of 11 stones and 11 pounds. He has a record of 4 fights, 1 loss, 3 wins, and 1 of those wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Bodmin Moor, Cornwall, England's United Kingdom, introducing S.A. Smith! And his opponents across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the black with silver trim. His official weight of 11 stones and 11 pounds. He is currently undefeated with 7 wins, and 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Billericay, Essex, England, United Kingdom, George Liddard!
Gentlemen, when I tell you to break, you take a step back immediately. Keep your punches up, obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. So look, gents, touch gloves.
Really looking forward to this. What an atmosphere. Absolutely crackling and buzzing. And my goodness me, apparently Jimmy Sains has got a stack of fans in here tonight. So really looking forward to that a bit later on. It's his matchroom gym mate, George Liddard, who's up, unbeaten prospect, who's looked lively so far, gaining lots of international experience. Andy Clark, looking forward to seeing what he brings tonight.
Me too. I like what I've seen so far. Look at that for a start.
Well, what a start. First right hand, big surge. I said to Andy that Sam Smith would just need to get through these first couple of rounds because they could be torrid for him. Liddard starts at a pace and he fights with an intensity, and we've seen that right from the off. It was the right hand that did the damage, wobbled Smith early on. He's rocked back by the jab. We've only gone less than a minute.
That's a lovely jab. Just plants it out there, no real tell to it. What I like about Liddard is he's got this kind of swarming, swaggering style. He looks to get on top of you, and when he gets there, which he is at the minute, you're in trouble.
Smith just can't match the pace and intensity. He can't see where the punches are coming from. And now he's twisted and turned, totally at odds with time and space. And there's fists flying at him from every angle.
He's actually doing kind of well here, Smith. I'm not totally convinced he'll see the end of the round necessarily, but he'll have been buzzed. He'll have been hurt by that initial combination, which came in the first 10-15 seconds. But he's just beginning to settle down a bit now. The minute after that was a real rough one, but he's got through it. He's just got to try and stay tight, try and stay compact. Don't give anything away. Get through this, take a seat, and breathe.
Yeah, he was a bit like this in his first couple of fights, and he got better as the fights went on, but this is a different kind of prospect literally in front of him tonight, and there are heavy shots coming through. Lovely change in the angle of attack from Liddard. And every shot seems to carry some weight and meaning from Liddard. I love the way he dips the head and the shoulders, changes the angle of attack, maybe draws a lead as well to give himself options. Liddard always creating, even when he's not necessarily attacking.
He looks like he might have that ability to slip punches as he's coming forward, which is a really difficult thing to do, and just digs his toes in for a left hook there. Just signs that Smith is maybe getting used to what is landing on him now. It could be a shot, can't it, early? And it definitely was with that knockdown so early on, but you can become slightly anaesthetised to it.
Well, this would kind of fit with his career, almost blown away in that round against a hot young prospect, but he's never had to weather a storm like this before, Smith. But he has been getting better bit by bit in his career. He got a draw over 8 with River Wilson Bent, who once upon a time fought Tyler Denny. And you were mentioning Linus Adolfia earlier on. I think he was the last man to beat Tyler Denny. What a run he's gone on. So his record isn't shabby, but at the moment he's just about sticking in there, Smith.
It was a horrendous start, wasn't it? I mean, he kind of touched down. It's not like he got knocked onto his back or anything, but it was a pretty crunching combination.
And he's got Des Charnock in his corner. He's been with him since his amateur days, a bit of amateur experience boxing out of Launceston Boxing Club. comes from a fighting family. His brother Wes was an unbeaten prospect about 8-9 years ago. Career curtailed by injury, and this is a fight that might be curtailed by Liddard, the way he's tearing after Smith tonight. Clubs him with a right hand to the body, then lands one to the head. Intelligent stuff, going downstairs, then up. He's changing the attack all the while, Liddard. He's full of the business tonight.
The one high to the head looked like it could be a problem. His legs just stiffened for a split second. I wondered whether it had collected around the temple, but he's managed to wear it okay, Smith.
He is tough, Smith. He's always looked that way. We've got limited evidence to gauge him with, but he's always looked tough and hardy from what we've seen through his career so far. But he is up, gulping at rarefied air now, relatively, in career terms.
But he's giving it an unbelievable go here.
Remarkable recovery of sorts in that first round, and again early in the second. You're right, Andy. Sometimes effort and resilience is to be marvelled at inside the boxing ring.
That's a decent left hand there from Smith. Liddard's just struggled to find his range in this round compared to the first.
He's also thrown a lot of leather. He's a young guy, full of the business, but that was a hell of a pace through the first round and a half as he catches him again with the right hand. That's been the Achilles heel for Smith. One thing we know about those fighters coming out of Tony Sims' gym, Andy, is they tend to be fit and strong.
Absolutely. Both Sims brothers in that corner. John Ryder as well. He's playing an active part these days after hanging them up not that long ago. But this is a great fight for Liddard, isn't it? Because he's got someone in front of him here who is just giving him a fight. Liddard's on top, but Smith is just swinging away, and he has to be careful because there's plenty of intent and ambition here from Smith. It could mean that this fight doesn't go the distance, but this kind of firefight in front of a packed house, yes, please.
I said you'd like his style, Liddard. In fact, I think I said you'd love it. And he's going to sell tickets, bundles of them, the way he fights. Terrific effort from Smith to weather the storm, to try as he might. You see he's wearing the bumps and bruises. Already there's a bruising around the right eye, isn't there, Andy?
Yeah, around both of the eyes, actually, I think. Just on the corner of the left and then under the eyebrow on his right eye, I think there's a bit of swelling. But that is a frenetic first 6 minutes. That's the only word for it, because neither one of them stepped off at any point, Smith included, because his approach to defence seems to be to attack. I think he feels like his best chance of surviving this is to throw with Liddard. I don't know how wise that's going to prove to be over the 6 rounds or however many rounds we get, but for us and for everybody who's paid for a ticket, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Round 3.
Well, Smith has had his chin checked, engine tested, ticker and courage absolutely rocked, but standing up so far. Can he find a way into this fight in the third round?
Liddard's just got to make sure he keeps trying to set things up, keep moving his head on the way in, plan that jab. He's got a lovely stiff jab when he uses it. Don't just look for big singles or big doubles. Just work your way onto the inside, chip away if you have to, wait for that opening and then take it.
And maybe just time those moments when Smith is winging away, when he is going to have a go, just look for the counters, little step back, create little openings and opportunities, because they might be there. Smith is so courageous and so willing. He might just help Liddard out here. It's amazing how he's marked up without being cut, Smith. Slightly weary look with that right hand. Right leg just slightly dipped away from him.
Midway through the round, and again, this has been a hell of a pace. As he throws that right hand, he almost walks straight onto a left from Liddard, but he's not bothered, Smith, is he? He's not bothered.
No, but he's getting those opportunities, Liddard. Exactly what I was hinting at, that the counter punches actually might turn out to be, in the short term, the way forward. And those counter left hooks have worked for him in this round. Still, Smith comes forward. Heroic stuff.
This is exactly what you need if you're Liddard, though. This is his 8th professional fight. It's all gone his way so far. He's looked good. Absolutely, he's looked good. But in Smith, he's got someone who is really taking it to him. He's not giving him any quarter. It's giving him very little respect, to be honest. There's a solid right hand.
Punched the gum shield out. It was so solid.
And he believes he can win. He's not winning, but he believes he can win.
Absolutely. Amazing stuff, this, from Smith. And ultimately now it's up to Liddard to kind of punch that belief, the fight, out of him. Can he, though?
Those legs look a bit unsteady as he took a step away to his right-hand side there.
Yeah, I mentioned it about a minute and a half ago, and he threw a right hand and he just kind of slightly stuttered, and not a stagger, but his right leg just gave way. Does look like he's tiring a bit, Smith. No surprise.
Bit of a cut underneath that right eye, where one of those swellings is maybe burst open slightly. Gum
shield's come out again, but there goes the bell, so they can do that in between rounds. He is marked up with the scars of battle. I said there wasn't blood. There is now. That bruising under the right cheek has developed into a cut. And he looks across to the fans that have come to see him, gives them a wink. Sam Smith, he was heroic so far tonight. For how long can he continue to be so? And let's stress, he is fighting, he's trying everything he knows, everything that he has, everything that he can. So there's no hint yet that the referee can step in. This is competitive stuff.
It is, but I was just, funnily enough, just thinking the exact same thing as you. I was just looking at the corner and thinking, if he has another round where he's getting more beaten up, if it gets worse for him, basically, let's say this round doesn't go well, it'll be 4 rounds down, 5 points down, and then if you're the corner, you have to think whether it's really good for him to leave him in for another 2, no matter how much he might want to do it. We're not there yet.
And can do it, yeah, which at the moment he absolutely can. But marked up heavily. Stubborn resistance. An application from Sam Smith. Where's another right hand? It's been his nemesis all night. Still he's throwing punches. Still he's trying to come forward.
There's that little head movement from Liddard, and then catches the shots as he comes in.
Another right hand sneaking through. Yeah, he's got a terrific style, Liddard. I don't know, and I mean this genuinely, I don't know how hard he punches, but he punches very accurately from good positions, and that is always going to be effective.
And he's on you, isn't he? He's on you all the time. He's always creeping in, looking to take that space. He's happy here.
And when I say I don't know how hard he punches, I'm not saying he's not a hard puncher. Just you don't know if he's, you know. Tony Sims was good friends with a guy called Nigel Benn, who used to come forward with a very, very similar style, and we knew he could bang.
Nice long right hand there from Liddard. He's not gone crazy this round.
No, I think he's realised from the third on that there will be little opportunities to counter as well. So it's intelligent pressure. I think he's really enjoying himself as well, Andy. He's close to smiling or smirking in there a few times. He's having it mostly his own way, so he's entitled to feel that way. But he is relishing this moment in front of a really intimate, boisterous, lively, big crowd.
Almost got through with the uppercut there, just rolled under a couple of punches, then looked for it, didn't quite land it.
And still Smith is piling forward, throwing shots. He's missing quite wildly there, but what an effort from him again. This is what opportunity creates. This is a big moment in his boxing life, and he's not going to leave anything in there, is he?
No, he really isn't. He really isn't. And this is the stage of the fight, really, where as a neutral, I want to see him get to the end now without taking too much more. George Liddard, as you say, is enjoying every second of this. It's a great opponent for him. It's a really good fight for him. It's a great occasion. He'll be loving this. He would want this to go on for as many rounds as possible. But as a neutral, as someone like yourself who loves this sport and really cares about these guys, the last thing I want to see here, to be honest with you, is to see this man to our right-hand side get knocked out.
And the fact that there was less obvious danger, less significant flashpoints in that previous penultimate round gives you, us, him hope that he might actually be able to ride this bumpy storm out.
And that's not me saying I don't like knockouts or I don't approve of knockouts. I love a knockout as much as anybody, but I just don't want to see it happen to Smith tonight.
Yeah, I think we hear you, Andy, as we head into the final round. He never stopped trying, throwing punches. Hardly landing, not being effective, Smith, for sure. But my goodness me, if you could bottle that up and sell it as some kind of energy drink, you'd make a mint. Good jab there from Smith, double jab, just keeping Liddard occupied. I suppose the question now is there anything else Liddard can do after an energetic performance?
That's a good point, because he's looked good. I love that jab. Just threw it again there. The way his shoulders move, it could be either hand that he's about to let go. There's no tell with it at all. It just plants on your opponent. There we go again there. With
his style, Andy, I suppose it's all, the key is the distance and where he's operating from, because he earns his way in by a lovely head movement and the angles of the shoulders, so he can get himself close, but it's been at the right distance to then be effective.
He's looking for the body here in this round a little bit more. Again, another right into the body, and this is good work. He's looking to break his man down. He got off to such a terrific start. He put a lot into that first round, as you pointed out, and correctly, because when you get an opening, you should go for it. But it's almost like he's kind of reset from round 4-ish onwards and thought, all right, headshots, they're getting through, but maybe they're not the way, so he's investing in a bit more body.
There's some lovely little old school nuances from Liddard, isn't there? The way he moves, the way he shapes his body to throw shots. Really relaxed, comfortable way in the ring, up close. Wings a right hand over. They've pretty much gone head to chest in this round for the last couple of minutes. Maybe there's some safety in that range for Smith. He's got 30 seconds to go.
He's maybe one of these guys, Smith, who just the way he carries himself, his gait, if you like, makes him look a bit clumsy and unsteady, when actually that's just how he moves.
closing seconds. The clapper's gone. We're inside the final few seconds of this one. It looked unlikely. It looked almost impossible that we'd hear the final bell several minutes ago. There's a chance, Andy, that that will indeed be the case.
Exactly, exactly. Looking up at him to my right-hand side here, Smith, he's just nodding his head at some of his supporters.
I think he's fine. Nodding to the music, nodding to his supporters. And I think the key for him is, Andy, there's been less obvious danger in the last couple of rounds for him.
There has. Tony Sims, I think, will just be saying to Liddard, just get out there, let your hands go, see what you can do in this final round. Enjoy it. You know, you have to enjoy these occasions as well. It's a hard life being a professional athlete of any description, but particularly a fighter. And, you know, you soak this up. This is what you do this for. This kind of a crowd, this kind of an atmosphere.
And the same for Sam Smith. These two, unless Smith finds a big shot in the last 3 minutes, the likelihood is these two are moving in opposite directions career-wise. Liddard onto the undercards of the big shows. No doubt, like everyone else, maybe trying to put the hand up for the big bills coming up over the course of the next few months and for the rest of the year. For Smith, the likelihood is it's kind of back to the regional circuit. This has been a real rare 40 for him into the limelight on these big small hole shows that Johnny Clark's putting together. Chopping right hand there from Liddard. If you were going to be uber critical, Andy, anything that maybe Liddard could have done through the last sort of 2.5, 3 rounds differently?
I think he maybe got a little bit head happy after that first round. For a while, he probably thought the stoppage was nigh, which I did too, and it didn't turn out to be the case. And maybe for a spell, just didn't set things up as well. Maybe didn't move his head as well on the way in. Didn't use that jab as much as I would have liked him to. But I think the last couple of rounds, he's really not quite gone back to basics exactly, but he's been very, very busy again. He's landed a lot, he's thrown a lot, he's been very efficient. I can't find too much fault with this, to be honest. Smith is the standard that he is, but he's very, very, very tough. And there's always been something coming back.
Absolutely. I think ultimately you just have to look at this and praise the courage, durability and willingness of Smith pretty much throughout. He's made it as competitive. He's made it way more competitive than perhaps it should have been. Oh, just got clipped by a right hand there.
And he's finishing strong here, Liddard. But he does have that movement, Smith, of somebody who looks like he's unsteady and hurt and about to go when actually he's not. The gum shield's come out again. I think the referee will get through to the end now before he lets that get picked up.
And there goes the final bell. Who'd have thought it? 15, 16, 17 minutes ago, my goodness me. What an effort. What courage and resilience from S.A. Smith. Probably never, well, I think he's relished the moment, to be honest. I was going to say, probably never been happier to going back to the farm and being up to his waist in cow and sheep poo, but actually, I think he's loved every minute of it, Andy.
I think he has. I think he absolutely has. It didn't get off to a great start, obviously, but since then he's just dug in. He's dug in all the way. And you put up a performance like that, and no one expected him to win tonight. It would have been a major, major shock, but you give this kind of value for money and show that kind of heart, on this kind of stage, and promoters will want you, because what they want for their prospects is somebody who is going to get in there, believe that they can do something, not just cover up, who's going to bring you a fight. And that's what he brought tonight. I really enjoyed that, right from the start.
Terrific. I knew he'd bring it, Liddard. I turned to Andy and said, if Smith can, if he can just get through the first 2 rounds, he might be okay. And ultimately, he just, and only just, got out of the first. Heroic he was. His eyes might be closed in the morning. He's going to be black and blue, that's for sure. But he'll have a few tales to tell, heroic tales, to his friends and loved ones. Let's get confirmation of it now with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee's scorecard. Referee Mark Bates scores the bout 60-53. And your winner, George Liddard!
Well, it was all the way on the scorecards, no surprise there. And it ultimately in terms of the action, but I suppose sometimes it doesn't tell the full story or say on the cover exactly what lies beneath the pages. Might just be the story of that fight reveals that kind of underlying story. There was a few layers to it, Andy.
There was. It'll look very straightforward when you see it on Box Track, but what it won't tell you is the phenomenal shift that Smith put in there. And those are 6 brilliant rounds for Liddard at this stage of his career. He's 8 fights in now, but the depth around that super middleweight division, as always, is considerable. There isn't any rush, but 6 rounds towards the top of a card, pretty much full arena, great atmosphere, real sense of occasion about it. That will have done him a lot of good.
And I think an experience that you almost can't buy. A very unique experience tonight, being able to see the crowd, buzzing, big crowd in this arena, and that'll be a really wonderful experience for this young man early on in his career. Let's see how he felt about it. He's with Ali.
George, win number 8. It looked like it was going to be over pretty quickly, but he managed to hold on to the final bell. Just talk us through your performance.
I wouldn't mind if that one finished pretty quickly. That was a good war though. I embrace it. I work so hard. You know, when we get in these fights, you learn things. And yeah, listen, undefeated opponent. He came to win. He's a bigger opponent. He's not boxed at middleweight. So I stepped up to fight him. And look, I'm not afraid of no challenges. 8-0, baby.
Certainly was. How did it feel being on the top 2 show away from the matchroom setup?
Yeah, look, it was a different opportunity that arose, and you know, I'm one of them. I jump at opportunities. I thought it was a great opportunity to fight in front of my people. Thank you, everyone that came out. It really means the world to me. So, you know, the last fight in Leeds, fight before that in Vegas, a little homecoming to Brentwood didn't sound too bad.
What's next for you? When are we going to see you out again?
Look, I want a Southern Area title next. I see, you know, Paul Gordon, good champion, defended it tonight. I'd love a crack at that if he's up for taking it on. So, all you know, respect to him. We're boxing the amateurs with fellow opponents. So look, I'll definitely have a crack at that. And if not, we want to push on for titles this year, definitely. I'm the next big thing in the middleweight division. Let's have it.
Well, brilliant performance. Well done.
Thank you very much.